Dun, 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 dun. Markets crashing. You know what I see? I see opportunity, baby. I see that you're saying we still have a chance. This market is absolutely going to rip to the upside once it breaks out. And the fact that we're getting these dips like we're seeing right now suggests that if you got a strategy, you still have the ability to really take advantage of what's going on here. Everybody, let's get in the Zoom. Let's get in the mood. Let's get in the mood for these charts. I got a lot of stuff to break down today. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream, so let's get into it. Everybody hit that like button. Let's go. What's up, everybody? How you doing? The market is absolutely doing some phenomenal things today. I mean, we're seeing things crash across the board. Intel, since the beginning of the year, Intel's down 43%. Nvidia's down 27%. Not on the day, but since, what date is this? Since July 10th, 27% down. What is this? Dow Jones down also from its recent local high. This is actually just 2 days, 4.48%. The Spider, S&P 500 ETF Trust down 6.5%. We're seeing things absolutely crushing the market. But you know what that means? That means we still have opportunity here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Let's talk about what's going on because it's, everybody wants it just to go up, up, and away. And are the bulls in control? Well, when you look at the macro picture on Bitcoin, they are. But when you look at what's going on the smaller time frame, it's really triggering a lot of fear. It's really triggering a lot of doubt. It's really triggering a lot of, did I make the right choice? Yeah, you're just being impatient. So let's get into it today. By the way, if this is your first time here, welcome to the show. My name's Kelly Kellum. Let's talk about it. Tater, how are you doing? She said, Kelly, how are you doing, fam? How are you doing? You out there in the sunshine somewhere? Big love to you, and I appreciate everybody that is here. I'm a little tired today. I had some early morning stuff I had to do for the business, but we're here. And the markets, you know what? It's anything if it's not exciting, right? So let's talk about what's going on because everybody, if you're in crypto, then you know what? You're looking at the traditional markets, seeing people scatter and, basically run for the hills. But if you're in crypto, then you understand this is us, baby. It's just an average day in the market. Having a glass of wine, having your meal. This is what we are dealing with right now. Traditional markets, they used to say, Bitcoin, crypto's volatile. And then we see data like this. Shocking. We also got numbers today. We also see some stuff, rising tensions in the Middle East. We're seeing the jobs reports actually came in. Although it's a negative thing, it actually it's screaming for a change. Remember, we just had the FOMC meeting, and they're talking about a potential cut in September. But now, after all this data and what's going on, they see what do they do? They tend to cut rates when something breaks or trying to prevent something from breaking. Well, hey, baby, when you're looking at this market and you see something like Intel dropping 43% from the beginning of the year, this is something breaking. But you know what? We're here for it. We're here to get out of the system. So when we see this actually changes. There's now a 69% chance that Jerome Powell and the Fed cuts rates by not 0.25%, but by 0.5%, 50 basis points in September. All things are pointing towards a bullish fall, regardless of what's happening right now in this market, regardless of how scared you might be. Remember, it's always darkest before the dawn. So today is a stream of inspiration. It's not, hey, why should we be scared? It's, hey, where can I find opportunity? Because we're seeing the narrative change. Yes, we're seeing NASDAQ down 10%. Yes, we're seeing Amazon. This was earlier. It's probably even further now, down 12%. Amazon is a massive institution. Massive institutional player on the global corporate stage, right? Down 12%. And at the same time, we're also seeing miners we get back to the Bitcoin, we get back to the crypto world, we're seeing the hash rate rebounding. We're seeing miners turn back on. We're seeing the difficulty level increase. And this is important, even if you could give two hells about the Bitcoin mining hash rate. This, in some ways, is a metric of the intrinsic value of Bitcoin. The more hash rate there is, the more miners are on network. The more miners are on network, the more secure the network is, giving it basically the concept of the strength of the network. That's the true power of what Bitcoin is. So when you have more miners on, the more secure the network is, and so on and so forth. Things are shaping up regardless of how scary it is. Then we see this. The dollar is weakening. The rates are falling. Global money is rising. Liquidity. What do we want for price to go higher? We need fuel for the damn car. What's fuel in a market? Dollars, baby. We want those dollars, and we're seeing that money rising right now. The Fed now because of the jobs reports, way under expectations. Green light to start easing in earnest. All is bullish for Bitcoin. Personally, I will take advantage of any flash crashes. This is Dr. Jeff Ross, but I agree. My question for you is, are you taking advantage of the situation, or are you letting the situation take advantage of you? That's what you have to ask yourself right now. When you see red in the markets, if you're upset, if you're fearful, if you're not sure what to do, realize that if you're even questioning what you should do rather than just acting on it emotionally, you're already ahead of the game. The question is, what are you going to do not to get trapped in the emotions? How can you prepare for your future? Take advantage of these dips. Coughing. Haven't felt back to normal since the Bitcoin conference, but I'll get there soon. What will render peak out at? There's no way of knowing, but we can pull up the chart here in a few minutes. And shout out to everybody that's in here. We got a lot of the OG homies in here. Sack Nasty, Black Guys, Tig Old Biddies, Taters in here, Alexandra G. All the homies are here. It's big love to every one of you. Let's continue on with what we got to talk about today. Now, we also see, if you're fearful, we talked about this yesterday. By the way, shout out to On-Chain College. It was so great to meet and hang out with this fella in Bitcoin conference. But the long-term holder net position change. This is showing the increase of long-term holders picking up coins from those weak hands. So the question is, are you a weak hand? No. Don't be a weak hand, because that means you've just been wasting your time in this market. If you're selling in the market when there's a down day like this, when we're set up on a macro uptrend with the best bullish foundational asymmetric risk of our lifetime, and you're thinking about selling, or maybe you've already capitulated, then you've wasted your time in this market to ride to this point right now and then be fearful. And then at the same time, we see long-term holders. What are they doing? They're buying from those people that are weak-handed. If you're selling right now, the only thing you're doing is you're contributing to the third vacation home for that wealthy guy you always thought you wanted to be, or get to that level. You can't get to that level if you don't understand how to buy in the red and sell in the green. That is the message for today. There is opportunity in this market when you see fear permeating through the entire space. This is the opportunity. The time is now. What are you doing about it? So we see long-term holders buying. What else is going on? We also see in the same moment that Morgan Stanley, with over 15,000 registered investment advisors, just got the green light to actually start pushing the Bitcoin ETFs. So all the data we've seen with the billions, the tens of billions of dollars flowing into the Bitcoin spot ETFs, this has been without registered investment advisors yet pushing it. Do you understand what's going on right now? The market dip right now. If you're looking at the crypto market and you're saying, why is it dipping? And you're blind to the fact that the global markets are having major pullbacks. It's not Bitcoin's failure. It's not your favorite altcoin's failure. Ondo, which is a great altcoin, is dipping massively. It's not a failed coin. It's not a scam. It's not. The markets globally are having a pullback right now. We're seeing what's going on with the interest rates just hiked for, I don't know if it's the first time ever, but first time in a long time, the interest rates in Japan ticked up. All that free money that's been lent out, that's been deployed into markets, that money's not free anymore. So now some people are de-risking. That happened in the early morning session because it's on the other side of the world. Those people that think there's a flat earth, you're a freaking idiot. We can tell by the nature that we have time zones. One, we can see this in markets. Japan, Markets, Asia, market shock. People wake up here in the US and it's like, oh, okay, because all of these things are tied together. So let's take a signal from this and realize that out of all of this, we look at the Bitcoin chart. We come back over here. Let's go to the BLX. Let's go to the daily. BLX is Bitcoin Liquid Index. This is basically the aggregate of all exchanges. Basically, it's the longest running chart I think you can get on Bitcoin, all the way back here, almost to 2009, but doesn't quite go back that far. But what we're seeing is this massive macro setup. Do not lose sight of what is in the market right now because you're tuned in here on a 7-minute chart and it's down, down, and away. In fact, yesterday, and every day we're breaking this down for you. Every day we've been breaking this down for you for the last year and a half. Where's the price? We had the rising wedge. Where'd the price come to? It came down to this level that we were talking about yesterday. This basically rising trend line that we had from here to here that created the trend line. And then look, we bounced. We had the wick, but then bounce. And then look, up and lost it. But on this move back to the upside, we're coming back to test this again. Now, remember, you cannot lose sight of the broader data. We've been talking about this as well. We had the gap. Now, I want you to understand, today's Friday. There's likely, hopefully, Joshua Jake pointed this out on the Discover Crypto show, and I agree with him entirely. I would prefer the market to dip over the weekend. Let's ask for it. Say, market, please dip over the weekend. Because the previous weekends, we've had the market rip over the weekend, only to create these large gaps below us. If the market closes, remember, these are futures. So these futures close. They don't trade 24/7 like Bitcoin. Now, if the markets dip on the spot, like basically on Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, so on and so forth, the spot market, the 24/7 market, if they dip over the weekend, then what will happen is say the market closes exactly where we're at today on these futures, 63.3, whatever. The market dips over the weekend, and Sunday evening when the futures open back up and the market, say this dips down here, boom. Now, what happens is you have this candle closure up here, and then the next candle opens down here. Then what do you have? We've come down to fill this gap that we've been talking about for, since July 12th. I think that's the date, right? Yeah, July. So I'm looking on the bottom there. July. You can't see the bottom, but that's July 12th. If this closes anywhere in this region and we get down to finally, maybe we close the gap, maybe we're just somewhere in the middle of the gap, maybe we even drop below it. Who cares what happens? If this drops into this region and then Sunday evening, the market's open and the last candle closed up here, then we filled this gap, and now we have the liquidity pressure above us, almost like a magnet, to go up and be sucked back up into that gap. And then we look at what's going on with the liquidations. Let's go to the weekly here. We have all of this liquidity. Look how bright this is, a magnet. Yes, this feels scary right now if you're focused on the small time frame, but let's shake out those weekends. Remember, we had some of the biggest news stories in the history of Bitcoin happen in the last few months, all sort of culminating into not only the Bitcoin spot ETF, and then all the data we got from that, then the Ethereum spot ETF launched, and then Cantor Fitzgerald stepping, all the different conversations that were at the Bitcoin conference, and then, of course, Trump speaking at the Bitcoin conference. And along with all that, we still have a gap for when the election is going to be. Also, what is it going to be? Is it going to be Harris? Is it going to be Trump? And this, I do not do a lot of politics on the show. I'm talking markets. But we have to talk in markets what the speculation is about what may happen. That's how you're navigating what's going on. You're looking for the narrative between the bulls and the bears, but you're also trying to figure out what's going to shape that narrative. So when politics has become such a big part, such a big talking point of who's going to be in office, because that's going to affect the nature of what type of regulations, support, or restrictions are in place in the crypto market. If you're wondering why so many crypto people are talking politics, it's because we're trying to figure out what the impact is going to be on the space in terms of the speculation about where markets are going to go. So when we come back to look just at the data, everybody's shorting, so much shorting, and we can see all this liquidation data, free liquidity that's up here. So the market's dropping, it's presenting an opportunity. The macro setup we talked about, coming back to the BLX, the macro setup on the daily. We still have this incredible uptrend. With we got the channel here. But look, look at where we bounced. We talked about this last week. Tiggle Bitty says, don't forget to smash the like button, homies. Smash that like button. Show some love. We are here for you day in and day out. But we can see the price action has just been oscillating between these two zones. And look at where we actually just bounced. I'm looking at the daily. The bounce came all the way down here to 62.3. But look where that is. You see this dotted line? I did not put that there. That is the 50% way mark. That's halfway through. So we are still on the upper side, the more bullish side of this. Now, would I be upset if this dropped? No. I would just take that context in, because remember that the CME Gap is down here in this region down here. So if we get a wick down, even if we come all the way down here to 56 or even below this, the structure of this bullish trend is still very much the same. If you want me to be honest, and I know you do, I am not on a macro level, midterm macro, I am not bearish until we take out that level right there. That is $38,000. I do not think we're going to go anywhere near that, but I'm aware of it on the chart. Why would that be the level? Because that's the last range low in this trend. So if we come up like we have, and if we come down and drop below this level, that's when the structure actually changes. So the fact that we're in any way bothered or upset or confused what is going on right now, it's just because we're being too short-sighted. We are still, remember, in fact, we talked about the potential formation of this inverse head and shoulders, this midterm, almost macro, this midterm head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. And in order for this to form, which would be a slingshot to the upside, in order for this to form, we need this dip. So if you're bullish right now, it's actually more bullish to appreciate the pullback that may be brewing that we're kind of in the middle of, but a little bit deeper and a little bit of time into maybe even into September. But getting that pump up into that would create that target. And if we measure this out, this target would be, boom, let's measure it out. It'd be all the way up here at basically right about $88,000, $90,000. And that doesn't mean it's the end of the bull run. That would just be the target from this particular pattern that we're seeing here, if it should so form. Now, I want you to throw a 1 in chat if you're actually concerned with the market right now. It's okay if you are. Be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves, and we need to be honest with each other. It's okay if you're concerned. Be concerned, but have a strategy. Don't be concerned and then get scared and succumb to your emotion, because these markets, when these things get going, it's going to be insane. And we see the TOTAL3 also. We had this big dip. We had a little bit deeper dip here. Are we also forming, it's very sideways, but are we also forming a potential inverse head and shoulders in this range too? We can also see Ethereum. Where did Ethereum go? Where did we talk about for the last, since I think we were over here about $3,800, we were talking about testing this 3,200 level. We were talking about testing 3,000. And we were talking about getting all the way down. And I put this here yesterday just with the flag pin. This box has been here 4 months. $2,900. And we did dip into this candle right here. If you look right here, just so you know, if you don't know, OHLC, all these numbers that move, this is the open, high, low, close of whatever candle your candle is over. So your cursor. So if I move my cursor over this candle, the low has been 29.83. I'm looking right here, low. The 29.83 has been the low on today's candle. So we're already in that $2,900 region that nobody was aware of. And Jose Rojas, I appreciate you. This is all about open transparency, communication, community, meaningful tools, relationships, understanding these markets. It's okay. Be concerned and let concern fuel You tune into, not my stream, you tune into my stream and several other streams. You also go scour crypto Twitter. You also just look, you ask yourself, what's my why? Why am I here? Why am I in this market? What's my goal? It's not to make money. Let's be honest. Ask yourself what your why is. Money will be a tool for which you're going to use to either build a business, save into the future, be able to get out of the working nonstop 9-to-5 grind, working for somebody else, that you're trading your sanity for dollars. No, we want financial freedom. Why? So we can pick the things that we're doing, so we can spend our time the way that we hope to, the way we can, to make sure we have the tool, AKA money or resources, to provide for our friends and family. That's what this is about for me. And if you understand your why, then you ask, how do I get to that why? How do I support that why? What is my goal? What is my vision? Do I understand that long-term outlook? When I know this is a lot lately, because people need to remember 3-day chart. This is a schedule. This is Bitcoin. This is what happens. Having sideways action, up. Having some chop here, all up, back down, and then essentially up. Consolidation, where? Previous all-time high. Having, all right, so same thing, up. Previous all-time high, consolidate. What do we got? We just had the halving. We're good. There's nothing to worry about right now. The opportunity is brewing. We did dip below the short-term holder cost basis again, which does suggest that we're going to get, this is a signal to me that there's going to be paper hand shakeouts. Why? Because now this is saying that the price is below the average cost of people that have bought within the last 155 days. Basically either traders or very weak hands, meaning there's a negative spread in play right now. So it's ripe for the taking at this moment for people to get absolutely wrecked in this market by selling now only to have it rip higher. And you go, I don't know, like, how could you ride this out? Or even buy it, if you bought at 74,000 and you sell down here at 63,000, why did you have a conviction here but not here? Especially considering where we are in the market cycle, especially considering where we're at in the global liquidity cycle. The markets are set up right now to provide opportunity to those who want to take it. We also see BNB. Let's get into 4-hour. Where did this go? Came right up to this level that we drew this the other day. This box, all these tops. And what do we say as this was pushing up? I said, watch, this is a reversal, but it's not a continuation of a reversal to actually go bullish. I pointed this out. I don't remember where I drew it. It must have been either the beginning of this week or several days ago. I said, watch for when the price comes up to this level. If it cannot get through it, it's likely going. What happened? Boom, rejection. Boom, actually rejected. It tried again. Now we have a lower high, and now the bottom is starting to fall out from under it. So I'm watching for this level right here. If it continues down, I'm looking at this level down here at 537. So it's another $20, $30 to the downside. But if this level's lost, then we're looking at, somewhere in, I would say somewhere down here in the 465 sort of zone. We also see Solana. I'm not adding anything to these charts. You know what? One House Productions, you are on the money. Best day ever, every day, especially when we have markets like this giving us opportunity. Let's all be grateful that the market is not running away and doesn't give us enough time to stack. If you feel like the market is like you ever thought the prices were too high, you don't feel like you got in early enough, the market is giving you this opportunity right now. The institutions have brought the boat back. And if you're willing to take the jump with them, then you can also reap the benefits. Now, everybody has to do whatever you're going to do that's going to fit best with your strategy, with your risk tolerance, with your time horizon, with what your strategy is in this market. It's not financial advice. I'm just letting you know how money moves in markets and how people become successful in these markets. Warren Buffett says it. Buy when there's blood in the streets. And we're seeing this opportunity. We see Intel. It's not just crypto. Intel down 43% since the beginning of the year. We see Nvidia down almost 30%. I mean, it's a broader thing right now. It's a broader issue within the markets, and we can tell looking at the data here, we're only about 7%, a little over 7% through the halving cycle. And if we just look at this analogy, this is this period where we're at right now. Here's the halving. We're 7% towards the next halving. Where were we at last cycle? All sideways action with a fake pump. Basically, bull trap comes back, then launches. What happened here? We sold off into it, and then a lot of sideways action. What happened here? Sideways for about half of it, then up. The whole point is the common theme on all previous cycles, this exactly where we're at post-halving, is we're doing exactly that thing. I shared that chart on April 19th, on the day of the halving, that on-chain chart. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Where's my page? Kelly. I just go to my page. What am I doing? Boom. Now, it's going to be too far back, but I shared a chart quite a minute ago. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. Media. Well, there's this one I actually shared also. You know, having this hesitation at the zone, once we actually break out of it, we had this hesitation here. Then you get that upside. But then we also got this one right here. This was back when I said we are 86 days post-halving. But then on April 19th, I shared an image, an on-chain chart showing the exact basic time frame, this right here. 40 was the 2013. Let me take off my face so you can see this. 40 days was the 2013 cycle. So let's ignore that. That's this yellow right here. These two cycles, the purple and the orange, are the last two cycles. And they were about almost 150 days. And we are sitting right now looking at the market, coming back to the BLX, go to the daily. And we come up here, we take a measurement. I think I already have it on there, but let me look. No, I took it off. So if we come over here, we do a measurement tool, date range, where we're at. Here's, it's the 15th. I'll move it here in a second. But where we're at right now, roughly about 105 days. April 19th, yeah. So 104 days. So we're within the bounds still that we outlined to you. I shared it with you April 19th that we are likely going to have chop in the zone. There's going to be some fake outs. There's going to be some heartbreaks. But it's going to, we still have, another 30 to 50 days before the markets on schedule are set to truly break to the upside. And if this does happen, if this comes out to, where's 100? Let's do 148 days there. We can even do 150. Let's do the exact number. 150 days is September 16th. September 16th is coming up on the end of summer. It's coming into institutional traders and big money. People are coming back from vacation. It's also, there's another metric that's happening that day, another key metric. Oh, FOMC meeting is happening around then. They'll likely cut interest rates by 50 basis points. And all this somehow lines up with also coming into the tail end, coming into that final push in the election race. There's going to be clear data about who's maybe likely further ahead or not, in addition to the fact that if we get that rate cut, and we also see we've fulfilled this data that we've seen every cycle previously regarding the time frame post-halving of when the markets, the last two cycles, have suggested, okay, we need this much time to basically shake all the crabs out. And then once we shake all the crabs off, then the market can get going. In addition to all this, I think we'll start to see very positive movements on the global money supply. But in addition to that, remember, Morgan Stanley just greenlit the 15,000 registered investment advisors to start pushing out that Bitcoin spot ETF as a product to their clientele. Let's see right here. Black Ice has the best comment ever. He said, the fall is going to feel like early Christmas for my household. I agree. But in order for all of us to enjoy this, you got to be in the game. So That's what we're seeing today, guys. I have to cut it short because I have another deal I got to come in with. I have what's going on? There we go. I have some other meetings I have to step into this afternoon. But shout out to CoinW. Make sure you sign up. The link is pinned in the top of the description there. In the live chat there. It's also directly below the video. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Ding the bell. And then just remember, whatever you're doing right now, make sure you're protecting yourself. Make sure you're protecting your future. Make sure you're using cold storage. This channel is powered by Arculus. Head over to getarculus.com. Use code LAB10. Best crypto cold storage solution out there. It's my favorite wallet. A number of the people I spoke with at the Bitcoin conference, they also agree this is the best wallet out there. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to be doing some streaming this weekend. It's going to be all private streams. BitLab members on this channel or BitLab members on the BitLab Academy, you will get access to those streams, but I'm going to keep you guys in the know. I'm going to let you know what's going on. Make sure you are paying attention too. And if you're not a member, you might, I'm telling you, hit that notification bell, because right here, turn it on, and there's going to be posts right here. Come to this post page. If you have your notifications turned on, you'll see when I'm posting something. I might do one or two of the members posts for 5 minutes. I might put the unlisted link in there for you to participate in. So make sure your notifications are turned on. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and realize that this market is shaping up for some of the best opportunities. Look at this, coming down into the zones we talked about, coming down into this lower 11. Are we going to get the 9? Are we going to get this down here in 10? I mean, the markets are setting up. Before they absolutely melt faces, it's just going to take a little bit of patience. Shout out to Bitcoin Bandicoot. We're doing a little bit of a shorter stream today because I got some things I got to take care of. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. I respect each and every one of you, and I want every one of you to be able to change your life. I want every one of you to be able to uplift your family. I want every one of you to practice and walk through life with the sense of gratitude. These markets are only a tool for us to reach those goals. Let's do it together. I really do appreciate y'all. That's all I got. Member streams all weekend. Make sure you join BitLab Academy. And by the way, if you haven't yet, hey, prices dropped. So you can still there, lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Go sign up, half month free, and then 30% off your membership for the life of your account. That's all I got, everybody. Adios, muchacheritos. Adios.